Hey friends, welcome back. It's a good day. I got some toys in the mail to play with. Check this out. ACEMIC wireless microphone. All right, we'll get into this in just a second. My name is Dave. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Those of you who are long timers know that I rarely test out gear. In fact, I almost never ever test out gear. But this just seemed like a lot of fun, a wireless mic system. Now, I normally just use the stage mic. When I was playing in louder rock and roll bands and R&B and blues bands, I was using a Shure SM98, but it was wired. I had it wired. I did not use a wireless rig. Plugged it into the PA head and managed it that way. I was just delighted when this company contacted me and said, would you check this out and make a little video about it? And I said, well, heck yeah, I'll do that for you. So I guess in the spirit of full disclaimer, this is my pay. I'm being paid to talk to you about this product by this company by virtue of this as I get to keep this and use this afterwards. So we're going to check it out today. I've got my PA system set up here. That's the head back there. It's a Mackie Pro 1800, way more power than anybody ever needs. And then I'm running it through I'll move this so you can see the JBL, the wedges. All right, and I'm putting this back down on the dog's tail. He's right here doing what he does. All right, so let's open it together. Well, actually, again, in the spirit of full disclosure, I already opened it, I already checked it out, but we're gonna run through this together. I have not actually gone through a full cycle and turned it off and turned it back on. So we'll see what happens, and I'll be talking you through this. By the way, this comes with some just your basic stuff. It's a nice little traveling container. It's got get your instruction book here, and it's got some durable, some foam. This is some pretty heavy duty stuff. I'm going to set this down over here on the music side. Whoa. Now, again, I'm not really techno savvy. So I'm not going to be able to describe this to you in terms of the technology of it. I'm just going to, basically just run it as a user would. Yeah, perhaps like you, somebody like you who's looking for a wireless mic and you don't want to be married to a mic stand anymore. You want to move around, you want to groove a little bit, when you're playing your horn. Okay, so at any rate, there's another antenna in here. There's an adapter if you have to go into a smaller input. And there's a charging cable. Charging cable has two ports, one for the receiver, right? That's the receiver, and one for the mic. And the literature tells me that the mic and the receiver are good with a full charge, are good for 6 hours. All right. Do you play any 6-hour gigs? No, of course not. But anyway, that's what they say. So look, here's the baby right here. It's a unidirectional condenser mic. Those of you who are savvy will know what that means. I think that means it points in one direction. It's got a really, really, really good clamper right here. So I'm going to clamp this in. There's an interchangeable screw-in antenna. There's a longer antenna in the kit if we need that. I'm going to attach this to the horn right now, and then let's just see how it sits okay on the stand. This is the receiving unit, and it plugs into a mic input. All right, it's a microphone input on the PA system or the amp, whatever kind of amperage system that you're using. Does not require phantom power since it's been charged up. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on. It has 16 different channels. Power button is right here. I selected number 3, but it's got 16 channels. And the reason why they tell me that it has 16 different channels is so that if you've got interference on any of them, you can dial around. Now, there's a way to sync this to the microphone, all right? And what I want to do now is I already did that. I already synced it to the microphone, and trust me, it's not that hard. If I can do it, You can do it. Better that you get this with the instruction manual and figure it all out yourself. But so we synced it up, I think, and I'd like to know if it stays synced up through the cycle of on and off, or if you have to do that every time. Okay, so I'm going to go over and plug this into the head right over here. And let's see. I'll use mic 6. Here we go. We're in the box. We are in. Okay. Now, let's see what's going on here. By the way, the EQ equalization on the head unit, my head unit is flat all the way through. I'm not doing anything at all, so I'm giving you as straight a sound as is humanly possible out of this microphone without any enhancement, EQ, or anything like that. I just want to see how it works, and if you can walk around with it. Let's turn the mic on now, and let's just see if we are still synced up. Here's the power. Ba-boo. All right. Oh, I got a good feeling about this. I think we are. I think once you sync, you are synced. Oh man, now that'd be really super handy, because at a gig you'd want to turn this thing off and you wouldn't want to have to sync up every time. Let's blow a note. All right. Let me give you a point of reference. I'm going to turn this back off again so you can hear it without the microphone. No microphone, power is going off. Where is the power? Here it is. 1, 2, 3. All right. Power is now off. I'll put it back on. Power is off. We're not sending anything to the head. Okay, let's power it back on. Here we go. Here we go. Power is up. Really easy to find all this stuff. So I work in the dark a lot, generally not in a brightly lit room like this. So it's nice to be able to just find switches that you want to find if you have no visibility or zero visibility. So I'm going to bend this down just a little bit. One of the weird things about saxophone is the design of it makes you think that all the sound comes out of here. It don't. It comes out of here. It's all coming out of here. And some of it comes out of here, but most of it's coming out of the body. Now let's listen to it again with the mic on. All right, let me turn it up just a little bit. Now I'm sitting real close to these speakers. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I'm a foot and a half away from the speakers, the big boys, and I'm not getting any feedback at all. Let's rock this baby. How about we turn it up a little bit more? We'll turn up the. All right, let's see what happens now. What could possibly go wrong, right? All right, now what I want to do is you and I are going to walk out. We're in this is the music room here. Lovely. There you go. Where's the studio? The studio dog, where's he at? Oh, there he is. That's Jackson. Say hello. All right. Let's walk out here to the kitchen now. We're in the kitchen, and we're a good, what do you think? 20 feet away from the unit, okay? Let's see what happens. I think the neighbors are going to love this, and they're going to love you. All right, let's walk all the way out into the front room now. Here we are in the front room. Here's the front door. We'll stand right by the front door. Now let's take a look backwards and see how far away from the unit we are. I'm going to call that 25 feet. Let's see if it works. All right, you ready? Come on. Come on. Oh, I can hear it working. Point of reference now, I'm going to turn this back off again. All right, let's see what happens. All right, now what I want to do is you and I are going to walk out. We're in the kitchen, and we're a good, what do you think? 20 feet away from the unit we are. I'm going to call that 25 feet. Let's see if it works. All right, you ready? Come on. Come on. All right, I can hear it working. right? We're off. I want you to be able to hear it. Let's turn it back on. Just hear the difference, all right? And again, I don't have the head, it's not, I'm not rocking the volume. Yeah, we're back on. All right. So there's our test. I'm kind of in love with this unit. I'm looking forward to giving it the real test. What would the real test be? Well, at the gig. I'll take it to a gig and try it out in a situation where I'm able to. But so far, I like everything. The one thing that I'm gonna cry about it. I'm gonna cry about it right now. Is the sound as is just flat EQ. Hello, that's me talking. Let's turn this back down so we don't drive the neighbors crazy with my profoundness here. We're off. All right. So anyway. If you may have noticed an edge in the upper range of the horn, a little bit of a tinny edge, we could EQ that. I can roll off the high end a little bit and boost the mid range and do all that sort of thing and bring in a better sound off of this equipment. But it does what it says it's going to do, right? It amplifies the beast, gives me an accurate representation. It's really easy to use. I'm able to walk around, and you can walk around too. If you so desire, you can walk around your next gig. You can get up on the tables and dance around with your saxophone. Imagine that. All right, forget I even said that. This is, again, a nice appliance, the wireless microphone. They make them for, you can see the other instruments, guitar. They got a flute clip, they got a violin clip, and then, the saxophone obviously is what we're using today. ACEMIC. I'll put links in the description below as you might like to check this out for yourself. All right. I think it's pretty cool for the price point. It's not the most expensive. You certainly can spend more. And I think, once again, that some equalization will bring this into a range that will sound a little more pleasing to the ear. But so far, like I said, easy to use. I can find the buttons and the tools just by touch. And if I can set it up and run it, you can set it up and run it, because I have no skills at this sort of thing whatsoever. So anyway, that's all I got. I hope that this is not our usual day here. So I hope that playing with toys was kind of fun. I'm using my Con 6M, and I bumped up to the big boy mouthpiece. I'm using a 7M now. I've been using a 5M for a good long time, and I'm using a 7M now. Let me turn the power off here and save some battery. There we go. I like it, and the reed that's on there today is a 2.5 Rigatti Gold out of the blue box. If you have any questions or comments, I love to hear from you, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I am able to. And if you get any value from this sort of thing, and again, like I said, I don't do a lot of product stuff, but why not? When it comes to me, I say why not. What was I going to say? The thoughts just flew out of my head. Anyway, 50% off of private sessions, coaching sessions, all through the month of May. All right, I'm taking half off. So I can work with more of you. If you're in need of a coaching session on a specific thing that you'd like to work on with your horn, come on down. Let's do it. We'll hook up by Zoom and we'll make that happen. At any rate, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, play your saxophone, and get some toys. They're fun. All right, I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much for being here.